Hello, hello. So I just got back from a meeting at my real estate brokerage's office, and I thought, well, I think it would be a good time to maybe explain or just talk about my real estate journey so far. Want to give you information if you are interested in becoming a real estate agent. I'm in California, so this is going to be based off of my California experience. It's going to be different in other states. But I'll talk about what the steps that I took, and I'm also going to talk about the fees and how much it's going to cost or potentially cost. And I don't know if my story will encourage you from real estate or maybe discourage you. This is my journey. So if you have any questions, at the end of the video, I'd be happy to answer them. Just leave a comment, and I'll do my best to get to them as quickly as I can. So I wasn't working last year full time, and I thought, well, what can I do with this time in between? Because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. So I thought, I'll get certified in something. And real estate just popped into my head because I thought, I don't know much about real estate, and so to me, I want to learn. I'm interested in stuff like that, and just like learning. And why not have a backup career? If maybe, I don't know, maybe this is something that I really would enjoy doing. So I ended up asking around my real estate agent friends what school they went to, and a lot of them went to Allied Real Estate School. I'm not getting paid by Allied. This is my experience. So I'm not promoting one school over the other. I just decided to go with Allied because that's where my friends enrolled. It's an online school. I was able to do it from home. And the cost for the school, the program that I purchased, was $273.73. I had to go back on my bank or my credit card statement to go look at it. So you pay, and it was a really good school. They give you a lot of resources. They have practice exams. So the course is online, but you have the option, at least when I enrolled, to get hard copy books. And I'm more of a book person than studying online. So that I got 3 books. I got the California Real Estate Principles, and it's pretty thick. Like that. Then I got the legal aspects of real estate. And this is an elective. So I don't remember even selecting an elective. I mean, I'm glad I got the legal aspects because I love the law and learning about law. So that was pretty interesting. And then the third book was the real estate practice. And I kind of noticed that this is it's thinner. It's much thinner than the other books. It's legal aspects. And then the principles thing. But the real estate practice book is really more, it was like a combination of the principles and the legal aspects, kind of like a review almost. Anyway, so you study each course, each book, and then you do a final exam, and you pass the final exam. Once you pass the exams for all 3 courses, then you get a certificate of completion. And you need that in order to apply for the real estate exam. You have to upload it onto the Department of Real Estate's website, California Department of Real Estate's website. And I didn't know this, so I thought you can, everything's gonna happen a lot quicker than it did. I thought I'm gonna apply for the exam, or just try to set up the exam and maybe take the exam within a couple weeks. But with California, you actually they process the paperwork, and then they let you know, okay, they'll send you an email. Now you can go ahead and schedule an exam. And that took, I want to say, like a couple months. It was pretty slow. So once I got the email saying schedule your exam, they let you choose a date, a time. There are a few locations, I think, throughout California. I'm in Southern California, so I chose my office, chose the date, and the exam itself is, I'm sorry, I should say, so you go and you submit all your certificates of completion, and they tell you also need to do what's called a live scan, or like a fingerprint background check. And that cost was around $75. I can't remember for sure, but I know that the live scan location charges a fee, and then there's a background fee too for the California Department of Real Estate. So I scheduled my exam, and you have the option to pay for your exam fee alone, or you can pay for your exam fee and then the license fee bundled. That way, it doesn't cause any delay. So you pass the exam, you don't have to go back online and then apply for the license itself. So I actually did both. I did the exam fee and the license fee, and that was $305. And I just didn't, like I said, I didn't want any delays. If I did pass the exam the first time, that I would be able to, I didn't have to, because it's so slow. The whole Department of Real Estate is so slow in processing paperwork. They're like a couple months behind. So I thought, well, I'll just pay for the license and then just get it done and over with. Took the exam. They give you 3 hours. It's 150 questions. It's multiple choice. And I didn't study a lot, but it's important that when you're doing the course to not just rush through it, like to actually understand what you're learning. And then once you understand that, obviously the test is going to be a lot easier because the knowledge is in your head. So I took the exam, and there's on the paperwork it says like they let you know right away if you passed or not. If you didn't pass, they'll tell you your score. If you did pass, they're not going to tell you your score. They're gonna say you passed. So at the end of the exam, by the way, so the exam was held at this it's a commercial building, and they make you check, like, pull up your sleeves, show your hands, show your arms. They want to make sure that no one's cheating. You have to take your coat off, or if you're wearing a coat, you can't take any phones, your purse, anything. You have a bunch of little lockers that you can put all your personal belongings to. You set your own combination code, and then that's what you use to get at the end exam to get your stuff out. So the exam itself, you're sitting at long desks, and there are it's like clear plexiglass in between you and the next person. And the computer is actually embedded into the desk itself, and you have a mouse. The proctor gives you a mouse, and you have to turn it back into the same proctor that you checked in with. So I did the exam in about a little over an hour. And like I said, they give you 3 hours, and it's 150 multiple choice questions. Once I was done with the exam, the lady handed me a piece of paper, and she said, don't open this, don't read this until you have exited the building. Don't discuss with anybody what your score is or your results until you're out of the building. So I thought, this is really strange. So go downstairs, open up the paperwork because it's folded, and it doesn't say anything other than our system isn't processing the scores yet. Check back in 3 to 5 business days on the Department of Real Estate's website. I thought, that's really strange. So I go home, and all the paperwork also included, okay, if you pass, this is what you do. If you didn't pass, this is what you do. And I thought, well, that's really discouraging. Okay, I don't think I passed because I didn't really study all that hard before the exam, and went home, threw the what to do next paper in the trash, because I just thought, okay, if I would have passed, they would have told me right away. Later on in the day, I should say my exam was at 8:30 in the morning. Later on in the day, around like 5, I just decided I'm going to check the Department of Real Estate's website just to see if they have any results, any update, and logged in. Sure enough, it said I passed. I was completely shocked, but relieved too, because I just didn't want to have to go through the whole exam thing again. And if you fail, for the state of California anyway, if you need to take another test, it's an additional $40 on top of whatever exam fees you've already paid. So it can be a little pricey. So the next day, I was able to download or print out my license, real estate license. They don't actually mail a hard copy anymore. I guess everything's digital. So the good thing about that was that I was able to start shopping around for different brokerages right away. I didn't want to just pick one and then, say, hey, hire me. I really wanted to find a brokerage that was a good match for me. So I did interview with a few different brokerages. One was considered like a cloud brokerage, which is done mostly online. The second one was a smaller, more innovative brokerage that was big on technology and social media, not the old school like door knocking and stuff, which I'm not saying doesn't work, but I want something that's going to be a brokerage that's going to be able to keep up with, the advances in technology. So the third one I interviewed with was an old, one of the old school, long time, big brokerages that is, tried and true, but I didn't like the whole corporate vibe of it. I knew right away I didn't want to go with them. So I ended up going with the smaller, more innovative firm. And so I called the owner and I said, okay, I've decided, I would love to work with you guys. And he was really excited. So I got sent all the onboarding stuff. Everything was done online and it was pretty easy. Here's what I didn't know. So I had heard that when you're with a brokerage, they have monthly desk fees. My office calls it a tech fee. And I was completely okay with it. Like the old school brokerage that I went with, that I interviewed with, that I didn't like, but had been around for a long time. Their desk fees per month it was like $280. And for the one that I chose, it was $150 and a $200 startup, which was a tech startup, which was just to create all my profiles online and on like these platforms and apps. I didn't know that I would need to join an association. I mean, I remember reading that during my course, but I didn't realize, no one told me how expensive these associations were. So to give you just an idea, depending on where you are in California and the state, they have associations everywhere that you can join. And there were a handful around my area. And the one that I joined, the startup, there's a startup fee and then your annual association fee. That was $1,500. And that's for the year. So luckily, the association allows you, it's prorated. So I joined in October. And so I ended up paying, it was like $700. And then on January 1st, it resets. So it's a new year, it's a new annual fee, and that's going to be $1,000. So if you start in January, it's $1,500, and then the following January it's $1,000, and then $1,000 every year after that, unless the fees change. Again, this is just the association that I'm with. So now I'm thinking, God, I'm over $2,000 into this whole venture. Like, what did I get myself into? And I wish someone had told me from the get-go, okay, it's going to be an investment. Yes, it's a lot of money, it's an investment, but just prepare for that. It was kind of just a shock when it's like, when you get the bill, like say at a restaurant or whatever, and you're not expecting it to be as as expensive or high as you had anticipated. But anyway, I'm glad I went into it. They have a mentorship program. So I realized that not all brokerages have a mentorship program, but mine does, and it's pretty neat. So the meeting I went to today was the first of my mentorship, and we basically just went over the listing agreement, residential listing agreement. So it's what I would fill out for if I was representing the seller of a home. So it was really informative. Everyone is really nice at that brokerage. So it's a really good fit. So if you do decide to go into real estate, I would definitely recommend meeting with different brokerages, just so that you can get a feel. Go to the office, meet the team. Everyone has been so helpful that I've met at the brokerage that I'm at. And I did start I had a total career change this late in life. And so a lot of my colleagues are a lot younger than me, but I love that this brokerage is so diverse, not just in, ethnicity, but also in age groups. So you have people that are in my age group that are still, sorry, the mailman just dropping stuff off. There are people in my age group who are experienced, and then then people like me who are just starting out, just a brand new licensee. And then there are colleagues that I met there that are 31 and has been in the industry for 10 years and is doing well selling and buying homes. So I think I can't think of anything else I want to share. I am at the very beginning of my journey. I'm going to share as I go along what I've learned, any tips and tricks. I don't want to say tricks, but any advice that has been given to me, I'm willing to share if you guys are interested. Like I said, let me know if you have any questions, anything that you want to add. Maybe you're an agent, a realtor, and that, maybe some advice that you can give me. I would absolutely appreciate it. This is all so brand new to me. So any advice I would appreciate. And if you have any questions on what I've gone through so far, like I said, leave a comment. And if you want to continue to see me, in this journey, subscribe too. That way you can be notified of any new events. Maybe I'll get a listing soon, or someone will ask me to represent them in the buying process. All right, I'll see you guys soon.